Hey guys, Dan Kerby here and welcome to episode number 3 of Zildjian Chats. In today's episode, I'm chatting to Dan Whitesides from the band The Used. Now, The Used are one of the most influential and iconic bands of my generation, so to actually have the opportunity to sit down with Dan is pretty wild. Now, in this episode, we chat about how Dan preps for the road, for tour, what it's like touring with The Used, what the shows have been like. They're currently on the road with Rise Against and Senses Fail. And we discuss how he approaches the studio writing songs. So he goes in depth as to how The Used write, and it's very interesting how they go about it. And we specifically look at a couple of tracks. We look at Lighthouse, the drum part and the drum sounds, featuring Mark Hoppus from Blink-182, how that all came about. We look at Playing the Victim, which is another track from Heartwork, and that's one of my favourite tracks. I love all of the different kind of drum sounds in there, so we discuss that in depth. It's really insightful, so there's a lot for you. If you're a drummer, there's a lot for you in here to learn from, and if you're in a band, there's a lot to learn from this chat as well. So anyway, Dan's an incredible drummer. We have a great chat, and I took a lot from this, and there's a lot in it for all types of drummers. So enjoy this chat, episode number 3, Zildjian Chats with Dan Kerby. That's me. Enjoy. See you in there. Let's go. Nice. How are you, man?
Good. I just day off. I'm sitting outside a hotel in Raleigh, North Carolina, so just chilling. How are you?
Yeah, good, man. It's at 6 a.m. out here in Australia. I'm in Melbourne. Yeah, it's good, man. I've got some students coming in to teach soon, so it's easy to get in here at this time. How's the tour been, man? So how's it going? Day off? How many shows deep are you? How's it all been going?
Well, it's been going great, man. It's actually, I don't know. It's always, I don't know why, but every time we go on tour and I see the people that show up, and it's just a shock to me. I never expect it to be as good as it is, and it's always great. And, like, the fans we're playing, 3,000 to 6,000 to 8,000 people every night, and it's insane. The crowds are going fucking insane.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Mate,
and I think we're about halfway through it, so whatever that is. I think we're doing 20, 25 shows, so we've probably done 12 or 13, so I've just made it over the stretch of, like, feeling super sore, and my hands are all calloused up, and I'm good.
Yeah, you're good to go. I feel if I don't play that much, or even if I don't play shows, if I do a couple of shows, my hands are ruined, hey. But then, as you said, after a few, they're good to go on your set. You can play as many as you like.
Yeah, and we do about 7 days of rehearsal before, and then obviously I play at home, but it's never show shape is just something you got to go out and play shows to get into.
Man, 100%. Even recently, I did 5 shows in a row in my city, and I was done for about 10 days. 10 days. I was.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I just felt it, man. I just felt flat. Yeah. But it's
and you
good.
Gotta go. I got crinks in my neck and shit. Like, But on days off, I go to the gym, try to stay healthy.
Yeah, I saw that. And you play hard too, so it's not like it's not easy. It's hard work playing like that.
Yeah. Dude, our whole band is like that. It's really unfortunate, but we all, we just can't phone it in. Like, we get up there, the second the show starts, we went from 0 to 10, and it's the whole band, so it's we kind of just, like, drive each other.
I'll bet. It's yeah, man. I mean, you guys are insane. You guys are iconic, and with The Used, it's like every member of The Used is their own frontman, basically. Like, you're all that good at what you do.
Thank you.
Together, it's wild. So yeah, no surprise there, man.
Yeah, hell yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So what, you're out on the East Coast. What time is it there? Is it 4 p.m. out your way now?
Yep.
Yeah.
4 p.m. I'm from LA, so it's 1 where I live, so just enough time to mess everything up.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning here, but it's just it's almost easier, like, to be in Australia you know, when you're touring over there, and you're just basically a day ahead of everybody, you know.
Pretty much.
So
Like you're 10 hours ahead, but a day behind right now.
right,
Whereas LA's not too bad. LA's like 5 or 6 hours ahead, but a day behind. So you can kind of manage that one a bit
right.
easier. Yeah.
You guys are always in the future.
Mate, we are. We're living ahead of time. Well, mate, it's fun. It's great to grab you, man, and have a chat. A big fan of the band, and obviously this podcast is for Zildjian. It's a Zildjian Australia thing at the moment, but it'll probably, I have no doubt, Kirsten or whoever in the States will share this around and stuff as well. So that'd be pretty sick.
Sweet.
So, man, I've been pumping Heartwork a lot. I've been listening to it flat out, and I've actually transcribed a couple of tracks from that. So, mate, I wouldn't mind just pulling them up and having a quick little listen to a few snippets of them and just picking your brain about a few things, a few sounds and whatnot. Sure. So I might jump right into it. Let's go, Playing the Victim. I'll just pull this one up quickly. Let's have a quick little listen, man.
Sleeping pills stop working when I wake up in the night, so I don't try. Cause when I try to find myself, I find that what have I become now? Pulling all my knives out, there's no doubt. Everyone will find me.
Man, I'm going to stop it right there because instantly, like, just those bells and that splash and even the open little hi-hat there sound epic, mate. First thing, the placement of those hits is insane. I love that. And
Right.
off the top of your head, I mean, it's a pretty specific question, but do you know, like, what cymbals you're hitting or what that little splash is? Like, is it a stack or is it a splash or?
It's a splash. There's
Yep.
a splash too. See, side note: when I go to Feldmann's, he's got a kit that's just always set up.
Sick.
So I may adjust a few things, but I just use what's there, and it's always Zildjian stuff, so it's the best.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he's always got a little splash to the left,
Mm-hmm.
and then the bell is just on the ride that's over there.
Yep.
So yeah, and
that's it. It's funny, man.
Yeah.
I bought the John Feldmann Easy Drummer Pack probably a month ago.
oh, nice.
It sounds amazing. I don't know if
Yeah, nice.
you've used it or not, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
yeah, maybe that's what he uses, but I'm sure he does. But mate, the drum sounds in that are insane.
Thanks. And I feel like with us, like a lot of Feldmann's recordings, they all have their different sounds, but I feel like he kind of lets us breathe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like, it's not quite so over the top or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're actually getting what I do.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you feel like when he works with you, I mean, obviously you guys have had a lifelong career together. The Used and John Feldmann. You've kind of created each other in many ways.
Yeah.
So do you feel like he gives you a little more space as a band, like to be yourself as opposed to some of the other projects he works with?
I think so.
Yeah.
John's pretty open-minded, and
Yeah.
you know, and like we're a unit. So when we get into the studio, it's always all of us, and
Yep.
everybody's idea. If you don't say what's on your mind, then it's never going to get heard. But when you do, it gets heard, and they listen, and it's like it's obvious. This is a good idea, or that was a bad idea, or whatever. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just like a member of the band when we're in there.
That's awesome. And what's the process with writing with you guys? Like, are you the type of band that gets together in a room, or are you sending ideas on the internet first, or is it a little bit of both, or how do you guys kind of write?
Everything.
Yeah.
Like, just depends on the album. Like when we did our album, oh my God, The Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
We did two weeks of pre-production. Spent 2 weeks on the drums up at 606 Dave Grohl studio,
Sick.
and we were just all in. We put the whole band in the vocal room, super tight. Producer was in there, everything. But then we go to John's, and like someone has an idea, and then we just go with it. And if it takes too long, it's probably not worth working
Right.
on. It goes really fast. So by the time the song's ready for drums, I've been sitting there for probably, I don't know, 6-7 hours, you know, listening, paying attention, shooting my ideas, this and that and the other thing, writing the song with everybody. So by the time I'm ready to do my tracks, I go in and I could probably bust out a song in, I don't know, 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Wow. So it'll literally be, you guys will get to the studio one day, there'll be an idea, you'll kind of workshop it 6-7 hours, and then they're like, right, let's do some drums. And you've already kind of got the drum part in your head because you've sat there all day listening.
Right. And what we'll do is a lot of times he'll just push record and let me run through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the band is in the control room, and they'll go, I got this idea, I got that idea. And I'll sit there and I'll try out every single idea that anybody has.
Sick.
You know, because I think like a drummer. So a lot of times ideas that somebody else has that they don't think like a drummer, a lot of times it turns out to be something pretty cool, and I just add a little sprinkle to it or whatever. But
yeah,
it's fun doing
man.
It that way.
Yeah, that's a cool way of writing. So you're there throughout the whole process.
Yeah,
that's great. And with Heartwork, is that how a lot of these songs were written? Like, did you guys write a lot in the actual studio?
all of it was in the studio. We came into the studio with a lot of ideas, and I don't think we used one.
Wow.
So yeah, it's like you don't know really what to expect. We've actually just recorded, and we're sitting on an album right now. I'm not sure when it's coming out.
Wow.
But, yeah, it's done.
Wow. And did you do that with John as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did. So, and I think we did a tour with Coheed and Cambria in October. We went right into the studio, wrote an album in 2 weeks. So it's crazy.
Just fresh ideas. As soon as you got it, as soon as you're in there, just go for it. Wow, man, that is very cool to hear. Like it's an organic thing. The band gets together and everyone contributes, and that is the used. Yeah. That is very cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. We all love it. I mean, if I didn't want to show up, that would be weird, you know. People, we're a band that we hang out all day before we play a show. Whatever songs we're playing that night, we practice them together in a room, and we run the set before the show. So it's just like we're a unit, and I don't know. It's nice. These guys are my best friends. Yeah. my only friends. So
yeah, that is awesome to hear, man, and that's the way it should be, and that's hence the longevity of the band as well. You know, like
I agree.
Yeah, it's all about getting along and writing good songs, and it makes the trip a lot easier. Yeah.
And dude, it's easy, you know, when you hear something, we all have a pretty good ear, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, let's say John's like humming this thing or somebody's humming this thing. I'm like, that sounds cool, but let's hear Bert do it. Because the second you hear Bert, it's like, okay, now it sounds like the used, no matter what it is. Yeah,
sick.
You know? So
sick. How's, mate, Bert would have to be the best screamer / singer, like the most dynamic voice on the planet. Like,
I agree.
Yeah,
he's a great frontman. He's one of the greatest.
He is,
in my opinion.
And how's that for you? Like playing drums behind those guys and watching. Let's say each of them are amazing at what they do, but let's talk specifically about Bert. Like, what's it like, kind of just being behind him and watching the magic happen in front of you? Like,
it never gets boring, man. Like, he's the leader of the band, so he controls the crowd. Like, for instance, like we end some songs with claps or like outros and this and that, and I watch him for when I'm supposed to do that, you know. But just watching him work a crowd, dude, and the crowd's laughing, and he's poking fun at himself and the band, and we do some funny things, but dude, he just knows how to work a crowd, and I just kind of watch it and I laugh. I'll take my ears out so I can hear the crowd's response, things like that, you know. Like, yeah. But it never gets boring, and it's always fun.
Yeah, I saw some crowd work he was doing the other day in San Diego. I don't know if it was on your page or the used page, but he's doing the hands up. When the hands right up, the crowd goes off, and then he kind of controls them like that. Super entertaining, man. Like I watched that whole video. I was sucked in.
Yeah, and the crowds, I don't know, man. There's something about him, right? I mean, he demands it, and they're like, oh shit, if we don't do this, we might get in trouble. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
he's been jumping into the crowd lately too, which is crazy.
I saw some photos of that too. Yeah. Mate, yeah, the shows look fantastic. So you're out with Rise Against as well and Senses Fail, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Huge. What a lineup.
It's cool, man. And we've toured with both those bands before, but back in 2007, we did Taste of Chaos. Senses Fail was on that, and then we did an international Taste of Chaos. And I know that came to Australia, but I'm not sure
You know what?
if Rise Against was on that.
The Used came to Australia with the Taste of Chaos, and my old band was the local support behind Crimson Eyes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that was before I played for them. I don't know if it was when you were in the band or even before that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah. We did do Taste of Chaos. It was
Yeah.
in 07 or 08 in Australia. So I don't know.
What? It could have been behind Crimson Eyes with the local support, and the rest were Americans. But that was cool, that tour. That was all time. Great concept.
Dude. Hell yeah. And every time we go to Australia, it's amazing.
Yeah. Any plans? I mean, you've probably got plans to come back here, but is there anything kind of penciled in?
Yes.
Yeah,
there is.
nice.
I don't know if I can talk about it.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah.
But yes, there is.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. And it's going to be with another really cool big band.
Yep.
That people are going to dig. It's going to be big.
Massive, man.
That'll be early next year.
Awesome. Well, I'm in Melbourne, man. So when you're down here, I'll be there. I'll be there front and center.
He's in Sydney.
Does he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's lived in Australia for, I'll bet you, like 5 or 6 years, maybe more.
Oh wow! So like, it's Australia's home essentially, second home for you boys.
Exactly. Absolutely.
That's cool. So he's in Sydney. Have you would have toured here obviously quite a few times. So you've spent quite a lot of time. If I'm talking about Melbourne, can you envision Melbourne in your head from memories?
Melbourne, yeah. I just remember, because it's been a while, and it's a quick visit. But I remember lots of good shopping, lots of good food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things like that. But yeah, it's just a big blur because it's literally like when we get to Australia, it's like show day, fly, show day, fly. So we try to soak it up as much as we can. My wife always comes with me. And a lot of times at the end of the tour, we'll stick around for about a week, but that's usually in Sydney.
Nice. Okay, so you stick around Sydney. That's the spot.
Yeah, just because that's where the airport is. It goes.
Got ya.
So, and usually that's where we end. I don't know why, but yeah, we'll stick around. And this time we're going to try to stick around and go hang out with Bert and his family and stuff because it's been a long time.
Sydney's awesome, man. Sydney's got it's got the bridge, it's got the opera house, it's got like big kind of iconic places to visit, but also the northern beaches are really, really nice. I got friends who live up there, and that's like a holiday, man. It's really nice up there.
Yeah. What's Byron Bay? Is that
Byron Bay's up probably, I don't know what the drive would be, but maybe 6 hours. It's like on the border of New South Wales and Queensland. But my favorite place in Australia to visit is like Byron Bay. Anywhere from Byron, it goes Byron Bay, Gold Coast, Brisbane. So Byron Bay and Gold Coast are cool holiday destinations. Then you go up a little further to Noosa, which is only like a 2.5 hour or 2 hour drive from Byron Bay. And I go to Noosa like multiple times a year to just chill out. So that's a good one to.
And you can drive up the coast and hit them all.
You hit them all. Like if you start at Byron Bay, you spend some time there. Do a little bit of time on the Gold Coast. Completely different vibes and feels. And then Brisbane's also nice. You would have played there heaps. But you go up a little further to the Sunshine Coast, and like Noosa's like the hub there, or the nice, my opinion, the nicest spot. That's sick, man. That's like a nice family holiday vibe there.
I'm just scared about driving. It's wrong.
On the wrong side of the road.
Somebody to drive me.
The difference is in the States, I feel like on your freeways, once people get on there, they just hammer. I feel like there's no real speed limit, but in Australia, they're really strict. Like if you hammer here, you get pulled over pretty fast.
Well, that's good. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Where I live, it's hard to go fast, and it's like 2 a.m. because there's traffic nonstop. But,
so you're in Los Angeles, yeah?
Yeah. So I don't really drive, man. I try my hardest not to ever get in the car. I try to walk everywhere.
Wow. I love LA, man. Like as an Aussie. So Melbourne's like pretty cold, but really, really nice. When it's warm in Melbourne, it's an epic city. But I love Los Angeles weather, man. It's just sunny all the time.
Yeah, it is. It's great. And I mean, it gets hot, you know, but if you go in the shade, it's a dry heat. So you're never like, you can go in the shade and cool down and, you know, minutes away from the beach. And like you said, like driving up the coast, it's a similar situation.
Yeah.
When you drive up the coast, you can all the way to San Francisco or San Diego, really, all the way up to San Francisco.
Yeah. I feel like,
but yeah, we love it.
I feel like California is like Australia on steroids. It's just similar.
Absolutely.
Just bigger, just more stuff, bigger, more people. But it's great.
Go down to Santa Monica and it looks like you could be in Australia, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Man, I love Santa Monica.
The big difference for me is, dude, when we first started going there, I went vegan a long time ago, probably like 6 or 7 years ago, but the food, man, like all the vegan food that they have and like the coffees, like I'm just like, and the coffees are just starting, the coffees that you guys have had in like Sydney and in Australia have been there for years. They're just starting to make their way over here, like oat milk and hazelnut and all these milk.
Sick.
So you guys are hip on the food, and lots of stuff, fashion and everything.
Coffee's like Melbourne's like the coffee hub of the world, man. It's like just cafes, multiple
I'm drinking
cafes.
A shitty Starbucks right now.
You know what?
I normally don't go to Starbucks.
I don't mind Starbucks, man. Like when I'm in the States, I hit the Starbucks. Good. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
But I like a good local spot. There's a place by my house called Alfred's, and dude, they make the best coffee.
Man, I've been to Alfred's.
Starbucks, I just went there because so
I've been to. I know Alfred's on Melrose, right? Melrose. What's the little?
There's a few, but there is one. Yeah.
That little one. Is it Melrose Ave? Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about? Probably. Yeah, Melrose Place.
Well, I go to the one in Studio City.
Right.
But I've gone to that Melrose one. Same thing. But the people that own that, I heard they are Australian.
Oh, no way.
They know what's up.
Yeah. It's a good spot there, man. It's fun, bro. It's fun.
It is.
Yeah, I've been drinking Almond Magics of late. I have to be very careful where I order that because it's quite a unique drink. You know, sometimes people just give me a blank stare when I order an Almond Magic. Yep. They're like, what? Is it? Well, it's just kind of okay. It's just like a shot of coffee basically with a little bit of almond milk in it. Nothing crazy. Yeah. But
I'm doing a quad shot oat latte right now.
Oh man, that'll wake you up. How good. Hey, I've got a few little clips and bits and pieces here. I'll just throw them up, have a quick chat about it. So I went through your Insta and I found my favorite video. I'm just going to pull this up, get a bit of commentary from you. Here we go. Very cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
That was his first show. That's my baby boy. He's about 7 months old.
Yep.
And dude, that was his first show.
Amazing.
So he just had he's just like that.
just chilling.
Yeah, dude.
So 7 months old. Cute. I've got a 13-month-old son. So that's why, that's why that one stood out to me. I was like, I'm feeling this. I haven't brought my son to a show yet, though.
The baby backpack on?
Yep.
Dude, yeah, he'll love it. I mean, I was taking I have a daughter, too, that's 11, and she was going same age, 3 months old at shows with, you know what I mean? Just awesome. And now she comes to the dressing room, she's like, they taught her how to fuck the dressing room up, break it. She runs around, but... Dude, I've already got him. I put him on my baby backpack.
Yeah.
On me and sit in the V drums and he's already holding the sticks and hitting.
No way.
So I'm going to get him started early. Yeah. Play guitar to him every day. I just wanted to,
be around music.
Involved in some sort of, Yeah. So.
Man, that's cool. I've brought my son in here and probably when he was about 7 months old and I hit the drums and he cried. Like I hit them softly and he cried. I took him to the drum shop. Sure. I was like, this is going to be the best. I'm taking him to the drum shop. This is a monumental moment. Took him to the drum shop. Yeah. Like, I hit the drum super soft and he cried again. So I've just given him a little breather for a minute. But he'll come around.
Absolutely. You got to break him in. We weren't sure how he was going to react to that. But I put those headphones on him before.
Uh-huh.
That was the main thing. like if I have a leaf blower and I'll go out and blow leaves, and I'll just put the headphones on because he's in my backpack.
Yeah.
And he's cool with it. He just loves to be there. He's just watching everything. So when we put those headphones on him, he's just like, "What the hell is going on?" Those little fat cheeks, you know.
Yeah, cute,
But
man.
he's into it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So you wear the I've got the strap as well, where I put him on my front. I put him on my back pretty recently as well for the first time, which was cool. They're great, those things.
Yeah, I love them because I can do a whole bunch of shit. Like I vacuum with them, I clean the house with them, hooked to me, you know, and
Yeah.
so it's comes in handy. I don't know when we will hook them to the back, but because probably a little bit later on. But I was putting them in there like probably before I should have, but
Yeah.
I just he likes it.
It's fun, man. And it's fun for you
Yeah.
as well. Like it's a fun experience.
Yeah.
Um
Hell yeah.
Mate, that's huge. Hey, I've got some more photos. I'll pull them up. Oh, how's this one? I saw this on your page, which I thought was cool. Oh, it's a bit giant. There we go.
There you
So that's the plaque for that. So, and in your comment, you basically said, you know, you've been in the Used for 16 years, and before that, you were listening to the Used. You know, and that album's just iconic, man. Like that changed music.
Absolutely.
You know. So, I mean, I know we're diving right back here into time, but I'm sure you've got some pretty clear memories of like what it was like listening to the Used, being a fan of the Used, and then all of a sudden you're in the Used playing those songs. Like what a wild thing to happen in your life.
It was a crazy time. I mean, I used to tour in other bands, never on anywhere near like the level they used is, but you know, when I would get drunk at night or feel homesick, I'd pop on that album, you know, and then
Sick.
even later on in Love and Death, you know, but so yeah, and then I got to know those guys. Like I think I met them. It was before in Love and Death. I jammed with Quinn. I've jammed with Quinn songs that apparently made it on that album, but or little things. You know, I just played the drums. He was the songs. The parts were written, but we were just jamming. So it was just those two albums. The first one and the second one are definitely two albums that I connected with, like emotionally and all that. You know, they were, man. They were game changing, groundbreaking, timeless albums. Just now that I'm playing those songs and playing them live is the same thing. I've never been playing these songs for 16 years, and dude, the Taste of Ink is just as badass now as it was then.
Yeah.
Playing it's just as fun as it was.
Yeah.
You know, all that I've got, all those songs, we still play all those, you know, and people love it, and we love it.
Yeah. Timeless. Timeless tracks.
Exactly.
And they really did change things. Like, I feel like before the Used came along, it was more, it was like the pop punky kind of stuff was prominent, you know.
Yeah.
And then the Used came along and they changed everything. It changed.
I agree.
It just
changed
changed,
the
man.
music scene.
It did.
Yeah, it did. And there were a lot of bands that came out that same time that were similar, but there's something about that group of people, those four kids, and that one producer, John Feldmann, and Bert being Bert. Nobody sings and screams like him.
No.
You know, a lot of bands have to get a singer and a screamer. Bert definitely screams less, but you know, his voices can be, you know, you want us
brutal.
to tour and see us live.
Yeah. Like it can be the most brutal of brutal and the most sweet of sweet, all in the one song. It's insane. Yeah.
That's Bert in a nutshell. I mean, it's like I said, dude, he's one in a million.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it must be. I mean, you've been there for a long time. You are the Used, but I mean, it must. Yeah, still spin you out a little bit, playing some of those tracks
Absolutely.
and the reactions. You know, 16, 18 years later, it's insane.
Well, it's like it's funny because we've never stopped. A lot of bands have broken up, gotten back together. You know, whatever. So we've just been going and loving it, and the crowds are getting bigger and bigger and better and better. And like yesterday in Atlanta was fucking insane, man. It was like crazy. It was people were just going insane. The whole crowd and singing every word and screaming and smiling and laughing and beating the shit out of each other.
Amazing.
Cool.
Amazing. I've got another pic here. Let's pull this one up. So this is, I believe, talk to us about this. Is this your first show back after after a year off or a couple of years off?
Let's see. Oh, okay. That was in October because we just played Salt Lake. It looks very similar, but that's Salt Lake,
Right.
and I know it because that's where I'm from. So, but yeah, that was the first show in Salt Lake after the pandemic,
Right.
Or whatever during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's sick. And hey,
That just
while we've got that up, I mean, obviously there's a beautiful, clear picture of your Zildjian cymbals there, so I might as well cover that quickly. You're running A's by the look of that, traditional A's, yeah?
Yeah. I like the non-brilliant, kind of a classic, drier sound.
Yep.
I got the Zill bell over there. I use it I don't know. I use it here and there.
Yep.
I've used it during Pretty Handsome Awkward. I use it during Blood on My Hands. I use it during All That I've Got.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't see the China, but the China's off to the right.
Is that an
super
Oriental?
Simple setup, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hey, what I like about your setup, I mean, first things, the Zildjian A's, I just feel like you can't go wrong. You're playing rock,
Right.
punk, screamo, whatever it is, you just can't go wrong with Zildjian A's. They are the sound. And then secondly, what I love about your setup, and I haven't actually seen this heaps, is your high tom, how close it is to your floor tom, man. Like that looks so practical to me.
See, and you're the first person to say that. Everybody else thinks I'm insane.
It looks
They get
so
by my
practical,
kit and
man.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's a triangle. It's easy to get to no matter where I'm at.
I mean, it's only a couple of inches from your floor tom.
Right. I have, between my snare drum and my first floor tom, I have just enough room to get my foot in there. My leg.
Same, yeah.
So it's all
It's all pretty tight there.
Yeah, but I tell you, when people sit behind it, they're like, dude, what is wrong with you? I've been playing like that for forever.
And what, did you just kind of figure that out yourself, or did you see someone else do it, or were you just like, you know what, this works?
Right. I used to think, and I still do, if I can get to it more easily, then I'm going to do it. Like, if I'm on my floor tom over here on my right, sorry, there's some damn bug flying around.
That's all right.
Anyway, if I'm on my floor tom and I can get to my left side with my left hand, I'm going to do that. I'd rather than cross over, I try to just make it easier to hit. Like, there's songs when I'll play the hi-hat with the left hand instead of my right, just because it's easier, So I just felt like that putting that middle tom there was going to be a little bit easier to do quicker, faster rolls. I don't have to go like from here clear the hell over to there. It's just like a real quick swipe,
Yeah.
So that's why I did it, and I never saw anybody else do it before. So.
Yeah. You can claim that, I reckon. That's a good one to have up your sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, it looks practical as I love it. Nice work. Now, let's move on. I've also got Lighthouse done here, transcribed. So we'll have a quick listen to this, pull apart some of the pieces. I've got some questions, obviously. You got Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 in it, which is just insane as well. So I'll quickly pull this up. We'll have a quick listen.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I give myself to the shipwreck. I give myself to the no way home. You tore myself into pieces, and nobody noticed it all.
All right, I'll stop it there, but we'll keep going in a minute. Question, when I listen to this album, there's a lot of kind of effects on some of the drums. There's some electronic drums. Obviously here, like the first bit was kind of distorted-ish, and then it moved into like a trappy kind of beat. Is that, how does that come about? Is that a conversation between you and Feldy, just going, let's try this, let's try that?
Yeah, and a lot of times I'll just play it. Like I was playing it on that little, God, what are those? The little teeny snare.
Oh, the little 10-inch side snare?
Yeah,
Yep.
and I was playing it on that, and it sounded good, but it sounded better just doing the program drums, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's always played out real time with real shit, and then we'll go back and kind of decide if that's going to work.
Sick. Man.
And sometimes we mix it up. There was what song? I can't remember what song it was, but it starts out with programmed and it fades into real, so it's kind of cool. I can't remember what sound it is.
Yeah. Because it makes such a difference to the overall track. Like, and when the real drums come in, it gives them more. They hit harder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's. I love that. I love it, man. It's. You're just using different sounds. I love that instead of just one sound for the whole thing. I love just sectioning things off for different sections of the song. Let's just have a listen to when the real drums pop in.
You tore myself into pieces, and nobody noticed it all. Two broken ribs from the pressure.
A few more hi-hats there. That's sick.
I'm out of breath from the CPR. You rolled me out on a stretcher, and nobody noticed it all.
Here we go.
Can you help me?
How good's Mark's voice sound with Bert's voice? The two different types of voices.
It's crazy, right? I know. I mean, think about Blink-182, Mark and Tom. They're like,
Yes.
well, that's when I picture Blink-182.
Yes.
Dude, they're talking about polar opposite voices, you know.
How good it works. It works amazing. Like, I love it. Let's keep rolling.
Will I burn or will I burn out? I can taste it. Taste you in the back of my mouth.
That's a real snare, yeah, with distortion on it or something.
Yeah.
Yep. And here it comes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, here comes the big boy. Here we go.
I can be your lighthouse. Can be your lighthouse. I can be your lighthouse. Can be your lighthouse. Now
Like, even that drum part itself that's so sick, man. Like, the chorus, you're on the snare, accenting, like that's thinking outside the box already. I feel.
Well, it's one of those things where I heard the guitar. I'm like, it's a kind of a funky kind of, and then, and then the bass. Jeff's over there slapping the bass, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So I was like, that just came out and it just fit. Like,
Yeah.
it was an obvious in our minds. So it was obvious.
Obvious.
And it worked. And it
works.
kind of gives you like a little salsa vibe.
It does, man. It's great. Yeah, how's that bass line, man? He's just next level on the bass. Hey,
dude, he is. He's
so creative.
Like, absolutely, anything goes. Slapping the bass. I don't know if we've ever had slap bass on an album.
Yeah,
but he does it quite a few times. There's actually a little. Isn't this a song where there's a little bass solo in it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
there's a couple of bars. Yeah, it's ripping, man. All right, we'll keep going for a little bit. Let's listen to the next change up.
and I'm sinking. No light that's leading me back to shore.
And they're kind of back on the main kit.
Why lean on me while I'm drowning? The same way you pulled me before. Can you help me? Will I burn or will I burn out? I can taste it. Taste you in the back of my mouth. Can you help me?
Man, I love it. There's so many kind of like different little sections of different drum parts in here, just forever changing, keeping me on my toes.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I like to use a lot of toms, and just basically just mixed it up with that similar beat, but just on the toms.
Yep.
During that one little part. Yeah.
Love it. And now you're back on the main snare without the distortion on it, it sounds like.
I can be your lighthouse.
Little bell there.
Yeah, little bell. And now you're on the hi-hat doing the same pattern, but accenting the snare, but you're playing on the hi-hat. Man, I love it. Super creative. Here we go. There it is.
I can be your lighthouse.
Yeah, man, that bass riff. Woo! He's ripping that.
Yeah, that's great, dude. Jeff's a madman.
He is.
It's
Great.
cool. I don't know if we may have played that song live once or twice, but
Yeah.
it's a fun one. It's a fun one to play.
Man, it's so cool. And what was it like with Mark coming in? Did he just kind of arrive to the studio and you guys did it all there? Like, how did that song come about?
Yeah, since John has produced their last two albums, he's friends with them, and obviously we've toured with them, and we're all fans of each other's bands. So he's like, "Sure, I'll come up, do a song." I think we did another one with him too, right? God, it's been 2 years, and we've already got another record, so I can't remember. But I think we've done two something. But anyway, that song, he's cool, man. He just comes up and he's like, "I got these words, check out this, check out that," and and then we all kind of get in. And the song was originally "I Can't Be Your Lighthouse."
Right.
I can't be your lighthouse, but we thought, dude, it'd be cool if I can be. Put some more positive twist on the song, like I can help you, I can. You know what I mean? I can guide you here or whatever. So, yeah, dude. Mark breaks out his computer, and he showed us this app that he uses. It just basically gives you whatever word you're thinking of, you just say that word and it'll give you a bunch of other words that mean the same thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff like that. You know what I mean? But just chill, dude. It's a very chill vibe up at John's. Like, it's never like, oh my God, we got to do this or that, or we're trying to do this or that. It's just, it all comes naturally. So. Sometimes Bert will come in and is like, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like that. What should we do? I feel great today. I feel shitty today. I feel like I can't express myself, So every day we kind of start with a vibe, but it's always like lighthearted no matter what the vibe is, as far as like what we're writing about. But yeah, Mark was he drew a little guy on the chalkboard. I took a picture of that somewhere. And he also broke out his camera and took pictures of Bert in the studio, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
super intelligent guy, really smart. Yeah.
Actually, I've got one of them here. Here we go.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
him.
can't remember. Oh, is that from my page?
I think that's from your page, and that's him taking photos, right?
Right. I took a picture of him taking a picture of him. So,
how good.
it's a good picture though, right? They're both
Man,
they're laughing.
It's in you're catching the moment perfectly there.
Oh yeah, I got lucky.
Mate, that's huge. So again with Lighthouse, with say the lyrics for that, was there no lyrics written when Mark got there? Was it like just an empty? It was empty,
right?
Is that yeah?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. So
and
then you just kind of go, and everybody kind of brainstorms, and
right. So you're all sitting in the room together and just piecing it together.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
and usually it's like, let's just say 75% done, and we're like struggling for words or ideas, and we'll just stop, what the hell song was it? I Want to Be Big.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We just stopped. We're like, that's what could it be? Like, what is it about? I'm like, oh, I got shoes to fill. I got mountains to climb. I got all these things that I got to do that I can do, but they're big steps. You know what I mean? So just little things like that. You know what I mean? And then that takes it to another level.
Yep. And so with your writing drum parts for your albums, you do it kind of the same way that you kind of described before, as the band will just kind of write a song and you'll be sitting there just kind of thinking about ideas throughout the process. Then you get on the kit and you just try things out, play whatever you're feeling, and then tighten it, sculpture it, done.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like, try this roll or try that beat. Or, you know what I mean? So it's a really, like, from lyrics to guitar, at least for that album, Heartwork in particular, it was definitely like we all were writing words. We were all writing guitar parts. We were all writing drum parts. And then, so that's how that album worked. And it was similar to the one we just did too. But because, like I said, I don't think like a guitar player. They don't think like drummers. So it's really cool to hear other people's ideas, and what comes out is like, oh, that's way cool.
100%, man. And I'm just looking here. Heartworks, like the deluxe edition, has 27 songs. So that's essentially two albums in one.
Yeah.
Like you could easily split that and have two albums.
Right. And we're just like, rather than do that, why don't we just release them all and we'll come back and write some more.
Wow. Man, it's so cool how organic it is for you guys to write songs, because I know it's not like that for everybody.
Yeah, well, we
it's
enjoy
definitely
each
not.
other's company. Some people probably don't like to be in the same room with each other, but
Yeah,
we do.
yeah.
There's one song on there where it starts with me beatboxing.
The prophet has a wife who has a girlfriend with a knife who cuts the cake.
I heard, yes, I was listening to that. Is that you?
I forgot it, dude. Yeah, when you write so many songs and like then you go back and you hear it, like, oh shit, I beatbox on that song.
Yeah, I was listening to that, and the beatbox actually sounds great. And I think there's some samples mixed in with the beatbox. Maybe there's tambourine or something in there.
Some
Percussion.
some percussive shit on it.
Yeah, and that's wicked, man.
I did a lot of percussion on that album. Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of
frog that he has in there.
What's the frog? What's the frog do?
It's just a little wood frog, and it's just. I can't even do it.
Yeah, you got it the first go. Yeah.
But and that's in one of those songs. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, because man, I went back and I watched the Used first documentary with John Feldmann, like when they kind of got discovered, and then I watched the mini doco that you guys put together for Heartwork, all the episodes, and it brought back memories of like John Feldmann and the Used just doing crazy shit with pots and pans and like all sorts of percussive
He's
stuff.
all about it.
Yeah.
Dude, dumb little things that like you could get online now. Like oh God, what the hell is the name of the song? I'm just so bad. Anyway, there's a creaking door at the very first. You could easily just grab that online, but I just went around his house and recorded the door that creaked open, and I sent it to him in a text, and he's all
Did
about
you just record it? Like, did you just get your phone and record it on your phone?
My phone.
Oh man, how cool!
I went and found the squeakiest door in his house.
Wow.
So it's the same thing, man. It's like let me try this.
Yeah.
I go okay, and then you try it, and it'll be like that was terrible, or he'll be like, hell yeah, that was great. Let's use it.
Sick.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mate, hugely fun. While I've got you, I've had a couple of students. I teach drums here. I've had a couple of students do some used tracks. I want to show you 15 seconds of each. I've got two guys. Is that cool? They rip it, man, too, and they're sick. Here we go.
Nice.
This is Andy Espo. Pretty tight, huh?
Nice. Hell yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It's spot on.
Man, 100%. It's funny. I use this program called Moses, Moises, to remove drum tracks from songs. You can remove drums, guitar, bass, whatever. It's actually
you'll have to send me that because I asked about it and they're like it doesn't exist.
Man, I'll send it to you. It
does.
It is insane how good it is. Like so I used it with that track. And it basically removes all the drums. Some of the vocals and stuff can be a little bit affected, but not enough to be worried about.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the thing with that one was, because that snare in that song so like kind of highly cranked in the actual recording, some of the it's like the reverb from that's still in the track. So when he's playing the snares, some of that reverby like high end from the crack of the actual snare was somehow in there. So it kind of sounds like the actual snare. But
I was gonna say it kind of sounded like at first I was like, wait, is he playing that or?
Yes, and I used the John Feldmann pack for that as well, which is the kit that he's got in his studio.
Nice. That'll help.
Yeah, which is like that was probably the third time I used it. Got Superior Drummer, and then I got the Easy Drummer, whatever it's called, tracks of John Feldmann's, and man, they're so sick. I'll show you one more of Joe. Joe rips it as well. Joe Larwood.
Seem to stop my breath.
Another killer.
Oh yeah. I might be playing the song wrong. I gotta go back and.
They're ripping it, aren't they?
That I might.
But
Dude.
yeah, those boys are ripping. But Mark, thanks for watching that. They'll be wrapped with that. But just watching those drum parts, even the boys playing it then, like there's so many fun drum parts for you to play during the set. You just must have a ball up there.
For sure. I do, and it's funny because I Caught Fire is probably one of my favorite songs to play just because it grooves. You know, there's a groove to it.
Yeah.
And same with All That I've Got, actually. That's a fun one to play. Those are usually in the middle of our set when I need kind of a break.
Nice.
From like, they're slower, that and the Taste of Ink and all that. So it lets me breathe a little bit. But yeah, and the crowd obviously goes off for both of those songs. So both those songs are two of my favorites to play live.
Yeah, they're great, man. How long's the set you're doing currently?
An hour.
Oh, nice. Good.
So we play for an hour. Yeah, it's a perfect amount of time.
Yep.
I feel like, and then when we do our proper headline run, we'll play, 15, 20 minutes more or whatever. But it's, dude, we'll get the one more song chance afterwards. But I feel like we're giving the crowd, we're playing what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, it's been going off. It's been pretty crazy. It's been fun.
Man, that's huge. It's the shows look insane. Absolutely insane.
It is crazy.
Yeah, spot on. Well, man. Well, thanks heaps for jumping on. I'll let you get on with your day, mate. I know it was hard to grab you being on the other side of the world and in the midst of a tour and whatnot. So I really appreciate you jumping on.
And I gave you the wrong email address.
Yeah, that's okay.
When I saw what I sent, I'm like, that is the wrong. What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. I looked at it because it bounced back. I looked at it and I was like, I reckon it was I don't know, whatever it was. I thought there was a word in there, and I actually made up an email address and sent it to someone else, and it worked. So someone got it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone got it. Yeah.
Oh my god, I just can't believe that's funny.
Yeah, but mate, you'll have to. We'll have to link up when you're out here in Oz. Maybe I'll
absolutely
cruise down to the show with Justin Malseed. He's our Zildjian guy in Australia. He lives in Melbourne too. So,
man.
Mate, we'll come out. We could even come down and shoot a little bit of content for Zildjian or something like that, like some drum playthroughs or whatever. Like, we'll 100%. Do something.
We're coming early to mid. What is it? 2023.
Yep.
And you got my email, so
yeah.
I'll email you my number too.
Yeah, perfect.
So then that way you'll just have it.
Yeah, sweet. I'll just hit you up.
Well, it's been fun, man.
Man, it's cool.
Yeah. Best interview I've ever done.
Yeah, sick. Well, hey, that's cool, man. I like pulling up the different bits and pieces that we can kind of just talk about. It's good. It's good fun. But bro, thanks heaps. Keep killing it out there on the road and have fun. Keep destroying. I can't wait to hear the new album. And I'll catch you in January, February, March, whenever it is. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for jumping on.
Have a good day.
You too, man.
Oh yeah.
Bye-bye. Cheers. Cheers, brother.
I loved chatting to Dan. That was the first time we ever spoke, so it's always cool to kind of get to know someone and kind of feel them out and see kind of how they are and how they operate. He dropped some absolute knowledge bombs. What I really loved about that episode was how the Used go about writing songs. It's so refreshing to know that they are a full band unit and that's how they operate. Like, they come together, they all write the songs together as a band. I mean, that's how it's kind of supposed to be done, and that's how they do it, and it's just super refreshing to hear that that's how they do it. And that's why they're so goddamn good. So anyway, it was a great chat. Really appreciated the time I had with Dan. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to that. There's definitely some knowledge bombs in there for you to take away from that. Now, moving on. Episode number 4, Sam Bassell. I believe that's how you say his name. The drummer for Ocean Grove. He's up next. He's a friend of mine. He's an incredible drummer. He recently filled in for the Amity Affliction over New Year's. He's the go-to guy for a lot of heavy bands. Ocean Grove are absolutely killing it. They have been for a long time now. Incredible drummer. He's an incredible engineer and producer as well. He's actually come into my studio and helped me with my drum sounds previously. Super nice guy and very knowledgeable about gear and touring gear effectively. For example, he has like a crazy playback rig that the band use. That's their in-ear system, it's their playback system, and he's in charge of that. He
owns and operates that whole system. So not only is he an incredible drummer, but he's a whiz with all of the extra things that I often get asked about when it comes to touring and playback and in-ear systems, etc., etc. So I'm going to dive into some of that stuff with Sammy. I'm going to try to do that in person with him because he only lives around the corner. But yeah, big legend, super pumped to chat to him. So that'll be episode number 4, Zildjian Chats. I mean, these things are going very, very well. I'm learning a lot. I hope you guys are learning a lot. Let's go get it. I'll see you in episode 4 with Sam Bassell from Ocean Grove. And that was episode number 3, Dan Whitesides from The Used. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.